right, so we are officially live. What's going on Facebook? What's up, YouTube? We're going to be going live right now. I've got some stellar calls to make. This is Power Hour, starting a little bit late simply because this morning I was taking care of, today's July 1st. On the first of the month, we're typically collecting rent. We're typically paying bills, things of that nature. I am actively looking for a projects manager or like a / operationals manager to bring in. So right now, that person doesn't exist on my team yet. Actively looking for that person. So that means I am that person. I'm still filling that position. So this morning was dedicated to that. But now it's time for Power Hour. So we're going to be jumping right into it. I got to call Mr. Douglas right now and see what's going on here. All right. So Mr. Douglas, his mom is sick. Sister doesn't want to sell. Mom gets sick every time. Okay. We called him yesterday. I don't know why he was set to be a follow-up today. He's not a follow-up. So what up, Kev? So let's just see which leads we have to follow up on today. Oh, here we go. We've got Mr. R&B Properties, LLC. They own multiple properties. Our cold caller reached out to them, got a hold of them, but they did not, I repeat, they did not pick up the phone when we called yesterday. So we're going to call again right now. If it's your first time joining in, bear with me. What you're going to see on this show is essentially me working through my real estate business, looking for deals, looking for discounted properties, looking for problems to solve. Some days we're going to get people on the phone. We're going to have some amazing conversations. We're going to put things under contract. Other days we won't. Today I've got a bit of a surprise at 12 o'clock, so at 45 minutes. We have a great follow-up call I'm looking forward to. So we'll have that conversation with that seller. That one should turn into a contract. That's a property that we're JVing with Nicole Perry out in Pennsylvania. All right.
Welcome to the U.S. Cellular voicemail.
All right, no answer. Let's double dial. Anytime we don't get an answer, I just immediately hang up and double dial. You're going to see that way we cut down. Forgive me as well. I'm going to be looking through my notes. You guys are actively catching me in work mode. So it's going to be pretty raw. It's not going to be, super scripted or anything of that nature. This is very raw work. Right now, what I'm actively looking for is some of the notes I took on a property. So I still like to write things down with my hand every now and then, which is great for my brain in the moment. Terrible for the future when I'm trying to find it, to go back and talk to them if I didn't save the notes.
Welcome to the U.S. Cellular voicemail. 608.
All right, cool. So no answer there. We'll give them a call back later. Let's move on. Pots and pans. That's freaking funny, bro. All right, cool. Let's see if we can't get Miss Shirley on the phone. Shirley, she'll answer today. All right, let's give Miss Shirley a call. And what we're going to do is we're going to keep track of how many calls. Yo, what up, Zach Shelley? What's good, bro? A freaking beast, man. What an OG. I'm sad I didn't get to spend more time with you when you were here for the mastermind.
Hello. Please leave a message after the tone.
All right, let's hang up and give Miss Shirley a call back. The camera, yo, bro, the studio is wild right now. The studio is low-key my iPhone, a webcam, a ring light, and a mic with a mic stand. And then I've got some LED lights strips under my desk because I like the vibe. And then I have a strobe light situation on the side of my room. So when I get the room dark, that's what gives that illumination on the backs of the wall. But it's pretty basic, pretty raw. I would say total setup maybe between everything is like $300.
Hello. Please leave a message after the tone.
Let me look this one. Hi, Miss Shirley. This is Marlon. I wanted to give you a call back. You spoke with Jake on our team about your property at West Roosevelt Drive. Just wanted to check in and see if you needed any other questions answered. Feel free to give me a ring back. No worries if you don't get this message. I'll give you a call later today. Take care. We're actually going to triple dial her because we have not had her on the phone since the VA spoke to her, and the motivation and notes look pretty interesting. So at the same time, guys, I'm keeping track of just the amount of dials we make. So far we're only at 6 dials. And I want to keep track of the amount of contacts made, right, which is like quality conversations, and then properties put under contract or offers made.
Hello. Please leave a message after
All right,
the
nothing.
tone.
All right, we're going to move on to the next lead. Also, in a little bit, we should be getting an influx of leads because I'm going to be helping out some of my friends. They've got a lot of leads out here in Arizona, so we're going to be getting on the phone with some Arizona leads today as well. But yeah, Zach, that's the setup, bro. All right, so no answer from Miss Shirley. Let's keep it pushing. Brian, let's see if we can't get Brian on the phone. Now, I remember. Brian was an interesting lead. That's right. He's not super motivated. We spoke to Brian, but we planted the idea of terms. So right now he's not set for a follow-up until the end of July. So I don't know why he's over here in this part of my CRM. So I've just moved him out of that part of the CRM. All right, let's check in with Lisa. Do you do anything for editing? I do edit my Instagram videos. These sort of videos are absolutely raw. These go straight to YouTube, Facebook, and here on Instagram. They are totally raw because I just don't have time to edit these. Nor do I think I think what's nice about these sort of videos is it's just like raw stuff. But I do use CapCut on my cell phone to edit. Garage needs to be updated. Floors need to be updated. Kitchen needs to be updated. Garage needs to be updated again. I don't know why that's there twice. He's asking 125. ARB is 130. This is Lisa. Let's give Lisa a call and see what's going on here with the house. Looks like Lisa has not been contacted. Let's actually check. This looks like an older lead that's in the system that got recycled and brought back to the top. Let's see if Lisa still owns the house. We'll give her a call while we look it up. Sometimes, like when there's an older lead, it might have sold already. In which case, I could just delete the lead. It's actually contingent. It's on MLS right now. Looks like it's contingent. It has an offer in. They're asking 130. Looks like she actually is getting the price she's looking for.
6808 is not available.
Right, so she was asking 125. She had it listed for 130. Looks like she might be getting that. Let's find out. It was listed for sale. All right, let's give her a ring and just see what's happening here. All right, hopefully we get somebody on the phone for you guys. If you're hanging out on Facebook and on the YouTube, shout out to you. Appreciate the love, appreciate the support. The YouTube channel is growing, so if you haven't checked out the YouTube channel yet, definitely go check it out. That's where the podcast drops. So one thing that you will...
Hello?
Hi, Lisa. This is Marlon. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Hey, Lisa, it's Marlon. Can you hear me?
Who's Marlon?
Hey, you and I spoke, must have been maybe about a month ago or so. I reached out to you about your property on South 16th Street.
It's sold.
Oh, is it already?
Yeah, I sold it.
Oh, nice. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Would you happen to have any other properties that you're looking to sell at this time as well?
I do not.
Okay. And just quick,
Thank you.
out of curiosity, are you guys buying any more now that you've sold this one?
I may, but I have a realtor, so thank you anyways.
All right, no worries. Well, you enjoy the rest of the day. Happy weekend coming up.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right, that one is sold on the market with a realtor. So that means this lead is a dead lead. We're moving on. right? But notice that we still want to ask that question. Are you buying anymore? Right? I may, right? Not a lot of motivation, not a lot of pain. The fact that the house sold for what she was asking for is pretty good. So we're going to move on this one, and we're done with that lead. Oh, shoot. Miss Betty Williams. Miss Betty Williams is a lead that's been in my CRM. When her name pops back up, it is always a funny time because Betty Williams, her voicemail cracks me up if we get to hear her voicemail if she answers the phone. Hey, Betty.
Hello.
Hey, Betty, what's going on? It's Marlon.
Hi.
Hey, what's going on? Did I catch you at a bad time? You can hear me? Okay, perfect. Yeah, I just wanted to catch up with you, see how everything was working out. Haven't talked to you in a little bit. You probably do you remember who this is? I was the one that was reaching out to you about your house on 42nd Street.
Yeah, I remember who you are. Well, basically, right now I'm just at a standstill. Nothing's happening.
Is that like a good thing for you, or is it like when you say a standstill?
I was getting some work done on my house, and the person that was doing the work, they kept my money and they didn't finish. So I'm just kind of, I don't know.
Oh man, they kept the money and they didn't finish the work. Are they planning on coming back?
No, they're not coming back. I didn't want them to come back to my house because they did a sloppy job. And then he had his workers calling me to pay them, but he was a subcontract to them. So I don't have a contract with them, and I gave him the money. So he basically played me out of my money.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Listen, that's, it's not the first time it's happened. I've had an experience like that in the past. So like, it definitely is not the first time it's happened. It won't be the last time it happens. At least hopefully it'll be the last time for you, but it won't be the last time it happens to somebody.
Right.
So I guess what's the game plan? Like, what are you planning on doing now going forward?
I'm not sure. Hopefully soon. I have water damage, so I had a insurance claim. So I still have the other half of it, but it wasn't enough to finish everything because he took the other half of it and did however he wanted to do with it. So I don't know. I'm just trying to figure it out.
Okay. Well, let me ask, what's the most ideal outcome? Like if you wave the magic wand and everything works out how it's supposed to, like what does life look like after that wand is waved?
I wanted to sell the house, but I wanted it to be fixed first so I can get my money for it. But then I just might keep it and rent it out. But I don't know. At this point, I just don't even know anymore.
Okay. Well, so it's like the options are either so essentially like in an ideal world, you either get it fixed up and you sell it, and get the most for it that you can, or you fix it up and you hold on to it and keep it as a rental.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess what would be the difference between those two? What would be the deciding factor that said, you know what, hey, I'm going to hold on to this one and just keep it as a rental? Because I think rentals work.
It would be depending on who I would rent to.
Okay. Yeah, that's always the wild card right there. It's the person that you put inside the house.
But I don't know. And then I think I was telling you about I was telling you about the Wisconsin homeowner thing.
Mm-hmm.
Stop doing that.
Right,
And,
like where they would reimburse the payments.
Gave me like a modification. So they did that before I could get the funds for that. How much is it? Come on, baby. Oh, that looks much better. Yeah. Hello?
Yep, I'm here.
Can I call you back later?
Yeah, sure thing. Yeah, let's do this because I'm gonna make a few more calls and I'm gonna run out to go check on a project. You want me to reach back out later this evening?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, cool. How's like around? Let me think. 2:00. I'm gonna be busy. How's about like 5:30?
That's fine.
All right, sounds like a plan. So I'll give you a ring then and just check in.
Okay.
All right, later, Betty. Enjoy the rest of the day.
You too.
All right, bye-bye. Okay, cool. So Betty is an interesting situation there. What I'm going to do when I follow up with her is I'm going to look at this house again because I don't really remember this one super well. She got out of foreclosure, which is pretty good. When I first talked to her, she was working on getting a loan mod. So she got that. She was pushing that through. Now I'm going to see if there's the potential to do a novation, which I really wouldn't want to do, especially since she's on the fence about selling it. I'd rather just come and say, what if we could buy this thing as is? Then I would go into that conversation more so with more conviction. I'd rather buy the property just straight out. So let me just look again what I have here. Oh my gosh, that's right. The last time I spoke to her, she was like sick with COVID. This is like the cool part of reading your notes after the phone call. So I'll have someone go check on the house. Wisconsin homeowners gave her a modification. She follow up with her at 5:30 her time, so that'd be 3:30 my time, 30 p.m. So I'm going to set a follow-up call for myself here, and then we're going to move on to the next lead. All right, so let's just set this follow-up call for 3:30. What's up, Luciano?
What's up, bro? I sent you the login if you want it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I saw that text message. What I'll do is log in. I think I got like 2 more follow-ups on this side.
Yeah, bro, no
And
worries.
then I'll jump in, and then we'll start calling some Arizona peeps.
AZ and LV.
AZ and LV.
Awesome, bro. Appreciate the help.
100%. All right, cool. So let's look at what we got here. Let's give Matthew Sargent a call. This was another lead that was pretty dang interested. Right now we're going through and we're kind of hitting on people that are a little bit longer term follow-ups. This was the guy that we were going to actually take over his property sub 2 because he was willing to put money into the deal to get it closed. So this guy actually was willing to spend money to sell his house. You got to imagine the level of motivation when somebody is willing to spend money to sell their house, right? So he feels like his house is a little bit of a lost cause.
Hello?
Hey, Matthew. Hey, what's going on, man? It's Marlon. Can you hear me?
Marlon, how you doing? Yep.
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself? I catch you at a bad time?
No, I got a minute.
Hey, awesome. Yeah, I just wanted to follow up with you, about your house over on North 31st Street. See if you ever had spoke. I think you were going to speak to your attorney a little while back when we last spoke.
Yeah, well, I spoke to my wife a little bit about this. She's not comfortable with. I hear where you're coming from as far as where your offer is, and I can respect that. The thing is, it just feels like I'm still involved in it, and I just don't want to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I guess that's where I'm at.
Okay, no worries. Well, what solutions did you guys come up with? Like, what do you guys think the game plan or the next step going forward is going to be?
Well, I can either fix it up and try and make it work, or I can try and sell it, or I can just walk away from it. So.
Okay, so either fix it up, sell it, and when you say walk away, what does that mean? Like, what does that look like?
No, I mean, sell it, like either sell it as it is now and walk away from it completely.
Mm-hmm.
Like somebody, buys it and, either pays cash for it or finances it, or I fix it up and rent it out, or I fix it up and sell it,
Got it.
I know what you're saying as far as like you taking over the payments and everything. It's just like, she just doesn't feel comfortable with that. So.
No, I mean, I totally get it. Like, most of the time, whenever I talk to, honestly, like, anytime I've ever done a deal like that, every single person I've ever spoken to, pretty much didn't feel comfortable with it at all, because it's just not as common. It's a pretty unusual thing most of the time.
I get it.
So I definitely understand. Is there anything that we could do on our end that would make her feel comfortable? Like, is there any sort of, like, contingency or, like, protection that she thought of that's like, hey, if they did it like this, then I would feel better about it?
I honestly don't think so. No. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't feel completely comfortable with it either. It's just because, at some point you could decide that it's not worth your hassle, and all of a sudden I'm on the hook for it again. I just don't want, if I'm out, I'm out. I just don't want to be, I don't want to even have a toe in. If I'm in, I'm in, but if I'm out, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like black and white. That's what I want.
100%. No, I totally understand that. I get that. You know what? Yeah, no, I mean, I get that. I think the only thing, I recently did this with another property that I purchased where, essentially the gentleman was in a very similar situation where he just, he's traveling around the world. So I think he's in New Zealand now. And his whole idea was, he was like, look, I just don't want to even have to think about this thing anymore. And it feels like if I do this, like I'm still partially thinking about it. I'd rather either know that I'm fully in or know that I'm fully out. So with him, what we ended up doing, he suggested basically we almost like rent it from him, and like we're renting it at a credit with an agreement to purchase it from him. So it's all the same terms, but essentially he still owns the property. So in his worst case scenario, he said, like, God forbid you guys ever stop paying, I don't have to hunt you down to go get anything back from you. And at that point, all that would have happened was we would have fixed up his house for him and essentially made payments to him and payments towards his equity. So worst case scenario, we did all the fix up for him, missed a payment, and he can now go and sell the house to someone else himself or keep it.
Well, isn't that the same thing?
It's similar. The only difference is he still actually owns the title. So it's like when you and I were speaking, essentially I would take title. That way I could at least, the benefit to me there is I'd get to have the depreciation. Right, so I'd actually be able to offset some of my income that I earn from my fix and flips.
Okay.
So the only difference here is I wouldn't be able to utilize any of the depreciation benefits from actually owning the property, from owning the real estate. But so essentially, it'd be like I'd basically be renting the property from you, and every monthly payment is going towards the actual mortgage, and it's going towards a credit, right? So I'm essentially being credited for every payment I make. So as long as I make all the payments, when the mortgage is paid up or when we get to a certain point where I could potentially just refinance you out, then at that point we can transfer title and I would take ownership at that point.
Okay, but what's the time limit on offer, like a promise to purchase? I mean, is it like 3 years or is it 15?
Well, in a case like this, what I would have to look at is I would basically be shooting for a point where I had the ability to refinance. So where there was enough equity built into the property. So typically that would take anywhere from usually like 5 to 10 years, as long as the market continues to move in a proper direction.
Okay.
Because as you can imagine, like I have to, like every month when I pay it, like, every payment's not going straight towards the principal. Some of it's going towards interest, some of it's going towards principal. So I would need enough equity to be built in. So at the very least, what I could do is do a refinance when these crazy interest rates come back down. And then at that point, I could just refinance and cash out the rest of whatever is owed on the property.
Okay. Well, let me ask you a question here. Like the first offer, the first thing we talked about, where it's a title transfer to you.
Mm-hmm.
How in the world would my bank look at that, where you're making the payments on a house that's titled to you, but the loan is in my name?
So I want to be very clear about this and very like transparent. When we do those sort of transactions, we are not picking up the phone and calling the bank. I'm just making those payments. So the bank never even looks at it any sort of way because ultimately they're just getting their monthly payments. So they're never curious. They're not calling you. I mean, like right now, how often does the bank call you ever?
Only when I owe money. So.
Exactly. So it's only whenever there's any sort of payment missed. So when because this is usually one of the things that most people ever ask us, like, hey, what does the bank think about this? And I tell them just honestly, like, we just don't tell the bank. I just keep making the payments. It's kind of like if somebody owes you money, you don't really care if it's them paying you or if it's their wife paying you or if it's their mother paying you. All that you care is that you get paid. So essentially,
yeah, but in that sense, if you hold the title and you decide that you don't want to make the payments, you still hold the title to the property, and I have a loan on a property that I don't have title on.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, and I can understand that, right? Like, hey, if I own the title now and I miss a payment, right now you're looking at it like, hey, I'm kind of screwed out. I don't have this property anymore, right? And I can understand why your mind would think that. From my standpoint, the way I would look at it is, okay, I just bought this property. I'm immediately going to renovate it and put some money into it to get it up to spec so I could rent it out at the highest market rate I could possibly get for it. So I'm already putting money into it from that standpoint. And this thing is putting cash in my pocket every month because I'm not buying this house to live in it. I will never live in this house. I might never even personally step foot in the house. All I want the house for is for it to make money for me every single month. So for me, I'm looking at it as an asset. So I like to protect my assets simply because they put money in my pocket. So from that standpoint, it's in my best interest to never miss a payment because this thing pays me. So every month when I pay it, it pays me. So for me, it's kind of like a simple, when I look at properties, it's very unemotional for me. I'm just looking at, will this make me money? Does it have the potential to make me money?
Yeah, and I can understand that. What happens if you get run over by that bus? And you just, then obviously, I have no idea what your finances are or anything, or what your, who your power of attorney is or anything like that. How your business is set up. You get hit by a bus, obviously you can't make the payments anymore. You hold the title gets transferred to your next of kin, and I'm stuck with a loan on a title, like I said, I'm stuck with a loan on a property that I don't own anymore.
Yeah, no, that's funny. And no one's asked me if I get hit by a bus yet. Most people just ask me like, what happens if I run off? But same premise. And that's a good question, right? So in those situations, right, what I actually do when I do this sort of transaction with somebody, I'm confident in my ability to pay, that I actually pre-sign what we call like a performance deed. In other words, if I miss a payment, so based off of our agreement, if I miss a payment, although the payments aren't going to you, they're going towards the bank. If I miss even a single payment, what happens is you would have the right to kick on the performance deed and call the performance deed due, which then at that point would give you the ability to reclaim the title, right? This is a document that I actually pre-sign. So it's not like you need to get my signature again, right? It's already signed. It's being held in escrow. It's recorded with the deed at the close of at the transaction. So it's already recorded in the record that you now have the ability to reclaim the property. You don't have to go through a foreclosure, right? Like this is me waiving my right. Like I'm giving away my rights to a foreclosure. So you would have the ability to just take the property back. And at that point, again, you would now be re-inheriting a property that had been updated. That's now a cash flowing asset. And you would be able to do with it whatever you chose at that point, whether it be sell it, whether you decide you want to hold on to it. But I could tell you like that's there as a safety precaution for you. I have no intentions if I buy a property on ever giving it back. So I just want to be very clear about that.
Okay. Is there a way that you could, I mean, I looked at that offer that you sent. I mean, I didn't go into it like fully, but it just looked like a standard offer to purchase. Did I miss something in there?
No, let me see. It's been a while, so I'd have to go see what it was I sent you. I think I sent you just the blank paperwork so you can see essentially how it would be structured, if I remember correctly. And let me see if I can't pull it up right now.
I guess what I'm asking is this. It's easy for you to explain that to me. It's another, I mean, I don't want to play a game of telephone with my wife saying, well, he said this, and this is what happens if we do that. And it'd just be easier for me to explain it to her if you could just write something up, like explain how that transaction works so that it's in black and white in front of her from you, as opposed to me telling her and maybe missing something or, you know, not explaining it correctly. You understand what I'm saying?
No, I get you. Well, let me ask you this. Would it be helpful if we set up a call where I could actually jump on and, you know, explain to her? So that way, if she has, because usually what happens, the challenge is when I try and write up an email like that, there's usually a lot to say, and there's usually questions that come into people's minds that, you know, I can't possibly answer because it's typically it's a conversation.
I can appreciate that. I also know my wife, and she's going to be very standoffish to begin with. I don't know how productive it's going to be.
Mm-hmm. You know, that's fair.
So I know her well enough to know that she needs to absorb it a little bit first before that would happen.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's what I'll do, because I've tried writing emails like this in the past, and that's just not my forte. But what I will do is I can send an email, and I'm just giving you a heads up of what the email will be. I'll actually just record a video of myself. You know, it'll be like a Loom video or a Zoom video of me explaining exactly what I'm saying to you. That way she can see it and hear it directly from me. And at that point, if she has any questions, she can, you know, feel free to ask or write them down even. That way she doesn't forget any of them.
That would be fine. That would be
perfect.
Fine. Okay. Just out of curiosity, you're not interested in a cash offer?
You know what it is? I would buy it cash, but I'll be honest with you right now, with what's going on in the marketplace, with the interest rates rising like they are, and essentially the market starting to soften up, my cash offers are actually starting to adjust based on what's happening in the market. So my cash offers are actually lower. In the last 3 weeks, I've been running my numbers more conservatively, because on the back end, the buyers, they're becoming much more conservative, just because interest rates, and they're set to hike up again in the next 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, so this way, like the reason I'm typically able to pay so much more on this side is just because now I'm looking at from a, you know, monthly affordability. So it's really just a matter of the numbers. Whatever makes the numbers work in these situations is what I work to do.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, though, if you came to me with a cash offer, I'm assuming you're saying it'd be lower, and I can understand that.
Mm-hmm. What I could do is I could rerun the numbers today, and I can see what I'll do when I send over the email. I'll also include essentially what I think I would be at from a cash price range, and see, just so you have a comparison, you know, and just giving you the heads up, like it would be lower than what's owed on the property, but you know, I'm just giving it so you have something as a comparison. Hey, Matthew, did I lose you there? Oh, look at that. I think that was weird. Let's give him a call back. That was weird.
Hey, I lost you there.
Okay, yeah. I wasn't sure. I just got quiet really quickly.
Yeah,
so I was...
if you send me a cash offer, and let me just, you know, see where, you know, test the waters with her a little bit, and see where we stand.
All right, you got it. So I'll get that sent over. You could expect that later this evening, as I finish up with some calls and meetings. Okay. All right.
Just so you know, I know you called and everything. I just got way too many irons in the fire with work and everything like that. I'm not ignoring you, and this should make you feel a little better. I hope. I get called on this property every day. I usually just tell people to go fuck off. Because I don't have the time to fucking deal with it right now. I just, which is another reason I should probably get rid of it. But I hope you understand where I'm coming from.
Trust me, I completely get it, man. It's a lot.
So,
I get you. That's why sometimes I always ask, like, am I catching you at a good time? Because I call people at some of the most inconvenient
I'm
times.
not trying to be a dick about it. I'm just like, sometimes there's priorities, and you caught me at a good time today.
Okay, perfect. Well, yeah, I'll shoot that over. I'll shoot the email over, and then from there, if we need to set up another phone call, we could schedule it maybe via email. That way, it's a little less inconvenient.
All right, sounds good.
All right, awesome, Matthew. Take care. Enjoy the weekend.
Yeah, you too.
All right, bye-bye.
All right.
Woo! That was a fun call. So this is how. Right, like it's the power of asking questions. Man, I think I'm sweating a little. No, it's not sweat. That's just I got vents, guys. This T-shirt has vents right here. Like, how freaking cool is that? Like, I got vents. Look at that. It's got vents. Does your T-shirt have vents? All right, I'm done showing you my armpits. Yeah. So that's how we start to. Also, I forgot I'm streaming to YouTube. What up, YouTube? I forgot. Basically, that's how we want to talk to him, right? We want to keep asking questions. You saw it. He is stressed out. There's a lot going on with this property. He owes about $64,000 on it. My cash offer definitely comes in lower. Do I have looms pre-recorded? No, not at all. I'm going to actually record this one fresh. I'm going to be like, hey, today is July 1st, just so you know, this isn't a pre-recorded. I'm not just sending these messages out to everybody. I'm a young black man sitting in Arizona. Yeah, yo. What up, Nick? Dang, I got Nick on my YouTube stream right now. Man, I made it. I freaking made it. If Nick is watching me on YouTube right now, I made it. I can drink my coffee. Coffee is for closers. All right, cool. So let me make a note of what I need to do here. So this is actually where my job, I'll be honest with you guys, this is the toughest part of my job right now. Following up on things I told the seller I was going to do. What I'm going to do is I'm contemplating just making that video for him right now. I really don't want to, but if I don't do it right now, I might never do it. You know what? I'm going to not do it because I have another phone call to make in approximately 2 minutes. And I need time to figure out his cash offer. That's how I make that decision. Because I have to provide both. So what I will do is I'll come back to this later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a reminder for myself. In the next 45 minutes, too, I'm going to go eat lunch because I'm hungry. So for him, I need to send this out by, make it 4 p.m. Select, save. All right, cool. That was nice. That was fun. And make a note here. So, guys, again, forgive me. Like, I'm not necessarily going to be narrating everything, because, again, this is raw footage. This is me just in my workday doing what needs to be done. Okay, 7122. I have some bills I want to pay to. 7122. We spoke about terms again. Follow up with a loom video addressing his amazing wife about how this can be done safely. Send over a cash offer as well. Do a total deal breakdown on the cash offer. Perfect. All right, awesome. So we are good there. We're good there. Oh, shoot. What up, Channing? Channing Tatum. All right. So we are good. We're sending that in. We're locking it in. That's Matthew Sargent. I'm going to put him down on follow up with motivated seller. He's definitely motivated. You guys heard the pain. He's got a lot going on. The house owes money on it. House needs work. I would have to come in there and put some money into it. But if I could take over a mortgage payment right now at low interest rates, that's value. That is value. All right. Let me look here. I've got a 12 o'clock coming up. Before that 12 o'clock hits, so I got essentially 4 minutes before that call. What I'm looking for are my notes on that property. So I wrote notes on that property. Then I wrote down everything that would need to be done with it. I think it was a little while ago that I spoke to her. So right now, guys, forgive me for being quiet. I'm just looking for the notes on one of my properties. Sometimes I have a really bad habit of writing my notes on paper. But it's how my brain thinks better when I can write on paper. Like there's something that helps me focus when I'm writing it out. It should not be in this notebook, but sometimes I do grab the first notebook in front of me, which again is a bad habit. All right, cool. So I'm not seeing the notes inside here. So since I don't see the notes inside here, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to go old school. Oh, is that the notes? Booyah! This is what happens. I knew I had the notes somewhere. Like I knew Marlon is intelligent enough to not do that. Okay, so let's figure out how we're going to give Alexis a call. Honestly, guys, you might need to transfer. All right, so this is what I'm going to need you all to do. I'm going to need you to transfer to the YouTube page if you want to continue hanging out because I need my cell phone. So we are streaming live on YouTube and Facebook right now. The way to go to the YouTube is to just go click the link in my bio. My YouTube link is in my bio. I have a link tree that gives you access to everything. So go find the YouTube page. I'm streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. I need my phone, so I appreciate you all, but I've got to go make this call right now. So again, if you want to continue watching the seller calls, come to the YouTube page. Again, if you want to watch the seller calls, right, I got a follow-up call, a pretty important one right now to make. Come to the YouTube page. The YouTube page, the link is in my bio. Link is in my bio. I'm live on YouTube right now. What's up, YouTube? You're already there. Go to YouTube if you want to continue. I'm about to make a really important seller call right now. I got about 30 more minutes of calling. I'm going to be getting off of Instagram to make these calls. I don't know how many more times I can say it. Go to the YouTube page right now. We are live on YouTube and live in Facebook. I need my cell phone, though. So I'll talk to you soon. All right. So YouTube, I know you guys are still there. I'm just looking for the seller's number. Sometimes I get like a little last minute with things. It happens. So let's look up Nicole. I guess Alex is at 3. All right, Alexis, let's give Alexis a call. Thanks. Hey, Alexis, it's Marlon. Can you hear me?
Hi, Marlon. How are you?
Hey.
Yes, I can. Me and my mother can.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, you know what? I wasn't sure if you wanted to do a like a Zoom call or if you wanted to just do it over the cell phone. Either way works well for me.
We can do a Zoom call.
Okay, perfect. So here, let me do this. This is. Do you have an iPhone?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I should be able to text you. You have a blue bubble. You're a normal person.
Yes.
All right. So what I will do is I'm gonna make a Zoom room right now, and then I'm gonna shoot it over your way.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. I'll talk to you in a bit.
Okay. Bye bye.
All right. Bye bye. Yo, we about to get zooming with our sellers, y'all. All right. So here we go. Let me actually set this up. They're gonna find out how handsome I am. Right? Like you're all right. So let's actually. Oh man, Nick, I just read your comment, bro. MMC was exactly what I said it'd be today. Like that's fire. All right, so I'm going to do this. I'm gonna do a Zoom call. Let me figure out how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna share my screen, right? But when I share my screen, hopefully she doesn't see that I'm sharing my screen, or else I'm busted. Busted. All right, so here we go. We're gonna make a new meeting. Oh, first I gotta leave the room I'm in. Leave meeting. And I should also low-key go like wipe my face down. All right, new meeting. Guys, it gets hot inside here. It gets hot when you drop a fire. Oh man, she's gonna be like, bro, you haven't shaved though. All right, so yeah, guys, give me a second. I'll be right back inside here in a minute. Actually, we're leaving that door open because it gets way too hot in here if I don't. Excuse me, guys. Did not mean to just burp on YouTube. My apologies. All right, let's see. Let's copy this link and send it over to her. So I'm going to actually share my screen with you guys so you can see right now. Yeah, like seriously, like I apologize. Like I just came back and burped on YouTube. Like my apologies, y'all. But look, I'm going to share the screen. Let me see. Can everybody see my Zoom window? They'll drop a comment. Give me a thumbs up if you can see the Zoom window. Let's put in so I can have the microphone going. So let me know if you can see the Zoom window. We're going to copy this. What I want to do is participants. I want to invite her. Copy invitation. Okay, let's text it over to her. Let's text her the link. Okay, perfect. So I get a little bit of face action here. Let me see if you guys are saying that you can't post comments. All right. Let's see if she's able to get in. Let me actually pull up her address here as well. Let me look for Nicole. There we go. The property address is, like, actually, it's even better. I can open it up on my computer here. So just waiting for Alexis, jump inside here. Okay. Oh, there you are. Hey, Alexis, can you hear me? I don't think you have. Oh, there you go. Now you got audio. I can hear you loud and clear.
How are you?
I'm doing excellent. How about yourself?
All right, Miss Nikki said that you're calling, and I'm about to text her say we're on the Zoom.
Yep, it's funny. I was just getting ready to text her.
Oh, okay.
She's good. She, out of like all of us, is the most organized. Like if
yeah.
if it's not on my calendar, I totally I miss things. Like I have to live by my calendar.
I understand. I totally understand. This is my mom. She's sitting over there. Oh, I gotta move the computer. This is my mom. Good afternoon. How are you?
Hi. Good afternoon. I'm doing excellent. How about yourself?
Well, thank you.
So, and my name's Marlon, by the way.
And I'm Dolly.
Dolly, nice to meet you, Dolly.
Very nice to meet you too.
So, I know that you all, we came over to the house. We had Tassim walk through the house. I kind of spoke with Alexis last time, telling her what it was we saw there as far as what we think the property could potentially do after it was fixed up and the sort of renovations that we need to have done to the property. So I guess catch me up to speed. I would love to answer any sort of questions that you may have, Dolly, or I'm not sure kind of what Alexis has passed over to you, what information or what questions you may have.
If we could just kind of go over, because she's never done anything like this before. So if you don't mind just giving me summarizing what you told her. She said there's a few options. Yeah, because Miss Nikki's business partner, her husband, was saying it was an option that if I did that, I could make money off the property. To like, if I didn't want to sell the property, I could make a certain amount every month. I just wanted to have all the options before I really, because this week will be the final decision that I make. So that's why I wanted my mom to be in on each option, like even what you told me and what he told me.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. So yeah, and Tassim probably spoke to you about the more like a financing option, essentially where monthly payments are made towards a certain purchase price. So typically when we do it like that, that's another option that allows you to earn a little bit more, because essentially for us, we're making payment over time. So because you're granting us the privilege.
I'm gonna let you. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna have the computer towards my mom.
Oh yeah, no worries.
I'm gonna ask you. Marlon, am I correct?
Yep.
Right?
No, you got it.
I'm gonna ask you the different options. Would you be able to send me an email?
Yeah,
I think
sure.
that would be better for me, and I think our meeting will be a little more fruitful and less time consuming for both of us. If you can send me all the options, I'll read everything over. And how much time do you allot for today? X amount. And then that way we can resume and have another Zoom meeting, and Lexus can I can ask you questions, and she could probably give you Lexus, for us to get it to make an informed decision.
Yeah.
I think it's best. Yeah.
So Dolly, how about this? What about this? Because I want to make sure I'm respectful of your time there. I'll draw up that email, and basically what I'll do is I'll put together the two different options there. One will be a cash purchase, and I'll actually go as far as putting down the breakdown on exactly, when I'm looking at the renovations and what I'm thinking each thing's going to cost. That way you can see it side by side. I do ask this. I get a good feeling with you guys as far as just, you seem very genuine and upfront. In the past, when I've done that for people, basically what people have done in the past is just utilize me to get almost like an estimate, and then they just go and start shopping my offer around. And I understand that you've got to do the best you could do, find the best offer. So I just ask that, if I'm being shopped around, just let me know, because it's going to take me some time.
No. Alexis is definitely said she's going to roll. The thing is that Miss Nikki referred me to you, and then on top of that, Miss Nikki cousin Will, he referred me to you, and he know I don't trust a lot of people at all. Especially, this is an emotional time for me, and that's what really is taking a toll on me, because that's the home that my father and my grandparents built, and I have none of them now.
Right.
So I ain't shopping around. I am using you. You know, so you ain't got to worry about that. I am using you because I don't trust people.
No, I appreciate that. I appreciate transparency.
You know, I have tried someone else, and they didn't even give me the breakdown how you originally gave me all the breakdown on everything.
Mm-hmm. So I'll do that. I'll put together an email where it's, line item. This is what I'm looking at, everything.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys have any questions about anything, or you're like, hey, this seems off or that seems appropriate, you just let me know. It's a conversation.
Yes.
All right. So
absolutely.
I will get that set together. And then what I think from there, like you said, Dolly, we can then have a follow-up conversation that would be a little bit more fruitful because you'll be able to have something to work with as well.
Absolutely.
Okay, so then my only question would be, what's a good email? I'm sure Nikki already has it, but I don't think I have an email for you. What's a good email that you want me to send this to?
It's A Creighton.
A Creighton, like Creighton?
No, ACRAYTON.
Okay.
It's my first initial and my last name.
Oh, okay. Yep. A Creighton at Gmail?
0225@gmail.com.
0225@gmail.com. Okay, perfect. So I'll get working on that, and I can get that sent over. Do you want to see that today? Is today you're gonna have time to look at it today, or do you think?
Yeah, we can look at it right now. To be honest, you can send it over, and we can look at it now because, like I said, this time right now is an emotional time for me. So I just want to deal with the right decision, but make sure that we're all comfortable.
Okay, so let me get working on that. It shouldn't take me more than maybe 15, 20 minutes to put something together.
And then we can get right back on the Zoom.
Okay, perfect.
The next hour, because I don't want to waste your time or nothing. I just want to get this squared away.
No, I appreciate that. So I will, right now for me, it's about 12 o'clock where I'm sitting, about 12:13. I know it's about 3 p.m. Around where you're at right now. So I'll do that. I'll set up and have in my mind about an hour time. We'll resume the conversation.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah,
thank you, Marlon, so much.
Thank you, Alexis.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dolly.
All right, then. We'll see you later.
All right, I'll talk to you both in a bit.
Okay, bye.
Take care. Okay, and meeting for all. So real quick, YouTube, what is up? You said I can see. Kevin's like, I can see. So essentially what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put together a line item email that has everything involved from all the stuff that we spoke about the last time. Thank goodness I kept my notes because it will just be easier for them to look at. What I need to do is I need to give Tassim a call and give Nicole a call and figure out what they actually said to her as far as creative terms, because I don't know. We never spoke about creative. Nicole Perry. So let me give Nicole a call. Real estate investing is fun. Also, if you're hanging out on the YouTube channel, please subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Hey, Nicole.
Hey, Marlon, how are you?
I'm doing excellent. How about yourself?
Doing great, no complaints.
Cool. Did I catch you at a bad time? You got 30 seconds?
Yep, I sure do.
Perfect. I just got off the phone with Alexis. We were on a Zoom call. What I'm going to do is, it was her and her mom, Dolly. I'm going to email them over a breakdown of the numbers,
okay.
For a cash purchase. Now, she did say that I believe Tassim spoke with her about some creative options as well as payments. What do you know what he said to her? Because I didn't realize that she had already been presented with some creative options.
We were trying to see if it was an option or not, but we didn't get back into it with her. I said I'll let her know.
Oh, okay, yeah, because she presented it like it was already presented to her, and I didn't want to I wasn't sure. He
didn't present it to her.
Okay, yeah, because I don't really see. I guess I'll make something up right now, as far as what an option could be. Because I'm thinking as a novation. I'd rather just do this cash, but I mean, as a novation, it could potentially get her an additional maybe $5,000-$10,000, and that would just basically take care of the holding cost and the closing cost.
Okay.
So that could be something there. And then I don't really see this. I guess it could be done seller financing as well. I'll look into both options.
Okay, because I was trying to figure. Hold on, Lions, can you stop that for a second? I was trying. My nephew.
That's funny.
My whole family's in town. Hold on. So, I was trying to think because if she could she even do seller finance because they already owe $97,000 and then they haven't made any payments since October.
That's right. I totally forgot there was a mortgage here. I don't know why I was thinking this house was free and clear. So yeah, I mean they owe. There's how much in arrears? Like $45,000 in arrears.
It's like she's in arrears. I want to say it's about 15, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, I mean 15 with the amount of work that needs to be done. Okay. She owes about 90. Why don't I have this? Let me look real quick. Because you probably did text this over to me. What happens is sometimes like when I JView people, if they don't send it through the link, I don't have it in my CRM. So
you want me to send all the information I have in your link?
Well, in the future for like future deals, but for now, we're good. So let me see. Yep. So Lexus ARV 290. I spoke with her, told her ARV was about 280. We went through the renovation. Essentially, when I was looking at renovation, all my numbers came up to be about 135,000. I think no, that was my offer. My offer came back at 135. Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't think I had much information on the pre-foreclosure numbers.
Okay. Yeah. See, the only thing that I had was we didn't call the bank or anything like that because I didn't have anything under contract. But she was given some papers from the bank back in May that if she went ahead and tried to do a loan modification, they could lower it out by $200 a month. But then shortly after that, I spoke to Tanisha, and she was telling me that it might not even hold weight anymore because people have been going in for loan mods, and it's actually been increasing the mortgage, not decreasing it.
Right. Yeah, I think the best bet will be a cash option. Cash and Novation, I think, are going to be the best bets here, especially with the work that needs to be done. Okay. I mean, it would be cool. Like if she really only owes about 15, even that, like I'd want to get a loan mod because even the person that would come in, because the house isn't in terrible condition. Like it's still livable, it's just old. So it could take a wrap buyer, but I would want to get the entry fee down to nothing.
Yeah.
And then she would also have to agree to take terms. So yeah, I'll present that as let me just write this down for myself right now. Option 1 is cash. Option 2 is Novation. Option 3 is loan mod sub 2. I don't think she's going to go for that though, because she's just again spoke with her, very emotional about this, wants to just make a decision and kind of move on. So I don't think keeping her tied up much longer would be the best bet. Okay. Maybe Novation would be nice because she'll get to see the house transform. Let me ask, do you have a solid flipper in that area that you're thinking of?
I don't have a solid flipper. I have contractors over there, but I don't know of any solid flippers over there. Actually, I'm gonna reach out to my cousin because he's a general contractor for the area, and he was telling me of a flipper over there, so I could reach out to him to see if he would be interested in it.
Right.
I have more than one flipper. Yeah, I do. Let me I'm gonna send out some messages and some feelers like, I think I might have a property coming up in Pemberton and see if they'll be interested in doing a flip.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, were you guys thinking about flipping it or no?
I don't think Tassim was thinking about flipping anything. I could ask him though, but I didn't think he was. Because with that, I don't even know what that entails for us to even do that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no. Okay, no, I totally get it. 'Cause I'm trying to think. If I don't really know that area of Jersey well, but I've been doing flips recent. So
Well, it's right next to the military base. It's the town I grew up in.
oh, get out of here.
Yeah, so that's how we got the referral because she knows my family.
Yeah, and she one thing she did say to me is like, this is like heavy. She's like only entertaining. Like she was like, I want to work with you. She was just like transparent. She was like, I want to work with you. So she just wants to see a breakdown with the numbers. So I'm just gonna send her a quick breakdown.
Yeah. So it's definitely right by the military base. If it was honestly, it wouldn't be difficult to sell it if it's fixed up right, because somebody in the military would definitely get it, or they would rent it out. You know what I'm saying? Because it's that close to the base. So literally that whole area, like everywhere where we lived at, right outside of the base, that's where our parents and grandparents kind of settled from the military.
Right. Okay, I totally get you.
Yeah, so it's one of those type areas, and then at the same time, like they're trying to build it out with like more Amazon places and all that other stuff, literally like up the block from there, not far. So it's a lot of different things they're trying to do over there, but I could think of off the top of my head 2 probably solid flippers that I could see if they would be interested in a property in that location if we did come across it.
Okay, got it.
To see if they would like take a bite. Like one guy, if it was I know for sure one guy, he's done flips that we've sold to him at around that price point. I think he bought 2 of them from us like that, but it wasn't as far in as Pemberton. It was a little bit further out, like 15, 20 minutes, a little bit south of there. Because South Jersey is like that part where it's like south, kind of central. I don't know. It's like a hole in the wall type town, but it's where that house is located is at the edge of the hole in the wall, so it's real close to the next town over. So they might, but one guy I know, he definitely only invests in that town. So I have to reach out to both of them and see if they would be interested in it.
Okay, got it. Okay.
And kind of take it from there. Like I know some people that would do it like as rentals and all that other stuff, or try to buy it like conventionally. Get that from her and try to get it conventionally. But I'll see. I'll make some calls actually as soon as we get off the phone and put some feelers out and see what they say.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
All right.
And then I'll give you a heads up and let you know.
Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna send her this email of like a breakdown.
Okay.
And I will check back with you in a bit.
Okay. All right. No problem.
All right. Thank you, Nicole.
All right. Thank you.
All
Bye-bye.
right, bye-bye.
Hi, Mommy.
All right, cool. So, guys, what I'm doing right now, by the way, is I'm just on my phone drafting up a new estimate for her. So, what I want to do is I'm just going to put the address here, which is blank blank 3rd Avenue. I'm not going to tell you guys the address because some of you will actually go ahead and try and call these people. We've had it happen. Can you believe it? Pemberton. All right, let's add an item. Add item. Okay. Okay. All right, quality. So again, I wonder if I could share my screen. I can. This is how I'm going to share my screen for you guys. Check it out. Marlon is going to share his screen so you can see what he's doing. Screen share, iPhone, AirPlay, share. Because I care. Unable to connect. Oh, it's coming out on the Wi-Fi. Let me get on Wi-Fi first. All right, now we're on the Wi-Fi. Boom. All right, apparently I'm still not on the Wi-Fi. Yes, I am. Now I am. All right, guys, this is gonna be my last time trying. All right, if it doesn't, sorry, it's not coming through. I just want to get the work done. Okay, so 130. So 13,000 roofing done. Cancel. Add an item. Add item. Roofing. All right, I don't know how to use this app, and it's like goofing up on me. Normally, I'm able to make estimates pretty quickly. So what I can do is I'm just going to use one, find a generic one online. Stop sharing my screen. So guys, as you can see, I'm starting to get hungry. My brain slows down as I get hungry. So I really should have given myself a little while longer to get this sent over to her. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to quickly right now make a invoice. So anyone know any good websites for making invoices? Let me also jump in back into the Zoom room and hit up Daryl and all right, let's go here. Also, shout out if you came over from the Instagram page, shout out to you. You're a real one. I appreciate you big time. Helping grow the YouTube channel. You're helping with the YouTube algorithms. I'm just gonna be transparent. I appreciate it, right? Like you guys are helping me grow my YouTube, and I appreciate that immensely. Every view counts, every minute you're on, every second you like stay on actually benefits the algorithm. It helps with the growth. So thank you for that. Let me see here. I'm looking for a free estimator tool. All right, cool. Contract estimator. All right, cost calculator estimated tool generate. Guys, I cannot find one right now, and I'm hungry. I'm really hungry. Does anyone have a tool that they use for putting together estimates? Because Anna showed me this great one, but for whatever reason, it's not working now. All right, let's just go to invoice generator. There we go. So we're just gonna Google invoice generator. Start now. It's free. So guys, check this out. Let me actually share the screen real quick. Let me share this. That way you can see what I'm doing. Share screen. Yep, window. Let's share my StreamYard. You guys get to see my tabs. All right, cool. Hopefully this thing isn't asking for my life's access. Come on now. We replaced 14 legacy applications. All right, let's see. Ron Johnson, M.A. Johnson, 6736, yada, yada, yada. We're definitely not giving them that number. Let's give them my house number. Company name, Witnesses Parkour. Let's just call this Bylon Consulting, LLC. United States English primary interest, yada, 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 less than 5. I'm a steer. I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher right now. Guys, I'm teaching. I'm a teacher. This is okay, let's see if they will just let me do this. All right, hopefully this works. If it doesn't work, I'm already unimpressed. They're asking me way too much. All right, cool. Build your invoicing. Guys, just give me the app, please. Please and thank you. Like, I appreciate the little alarm, the invoicing. Cool. Create a customer invoice. Let's get started. Create invoice. All right, cool. General information. Yeah, apply. Cool. Just let me create an invoice, please. All right, cool. Payment reference, due date, add a line, add a section, add a note. Perfect. Product. All right, cool. Roof. Ooh, let's go. Quantity 1. Create. Sure. Price. $13,000. Right? We're not going to do any tax. Get out of here with the tax. Add a line. All right, so what we're doing right now essentially is we're going through, and I'm just putting, like, I'm doing this because my job is to make life easier for these people. So I'm going to just break it down for them. New siding. Me ordering a sample, like, guys. If you can see the group chat I'm in right now with Sam Singh, Alejandro, Luciano, Eddie, man, Tyler, and Kevin Cho, like, it's hilarious. All right, siding is going to be 4,000. Some of you are wondering how I'm getting these prices. These are ballpark kind of retail numbers for fixing up a property. Oh, I forgot. We had some people on the Zoom calls. Like, who the heck is that? Hey, Andreas, you're live on YouTube with me right now, bro.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, man. I forgot you were even I forgot I was in this room until I heard you just clear your throat.
What is it? What is your live on?
On YouTube and Facebook. Like, if you go to my YouTube channel right now, it's just Marlon Johnson.
That's cool. So is it like a seller call type of thing, or do you just kind of touch on topics or?
Not seller call. I just had one of my sellers on Zoom just now.
Nice, bro.
So I'm just putting together a breakdown, a line item breakdown of what I'm thinking the renovations are going to cost here.
Hey, bro. I'm about to hop on another call right now.
Heck yeah, bro. I'll let people listen to your call while they watch me type slowly my invoice.
Cool. So this one's probably going to be I haven't actually talked to the seller. It's a little bit cold. But let's see.
Shout out to Ken. That's garage door.
Hi, am I speaking to Scott? Hey, Scott, this is Andres. How are you? I'm doing great, Scott. So the reason I'm reaching out is because just a couple of months ago, you spoke to my team about your property in Huntersville, the one on Seafield, Maine. I just wanted to check in with you and see if that one was still available. Yeah. Great. So Scott, tell me a little bit more about the property. I don't want to waste your time. I do have some notes, and I can see that it kind of seems like you were looking to sell potentially due to the market, maybe relatively soon. Can you kind of explain to me, or just tell me what it is that you plan to do with the property, or what does it look like right now? What do you mean, what does it look like? Well, in terms of you selling it, are you looking to sell anytime soon? Yeah, whatever. Okay. So what are you looking to get out of it? Do you have a price for the property? 475,500. Okay. And are you currently living there, or is it occupied by tenants? Okay. And do you happen to know when their lease ends? Okay. So Scott, I mean, I'm taking a look at it on Zillow. I see a couple of pictures here. I don't know if these are recent, but I mean, this looks like a really nice house. What's the reason you want to sell it? Okay. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, Scott. I think at your price, I'm not sure if we are your buyer, but let me kind of discuss it a little bit with my team, see what they say. Let me try to give you a call back within the next 5 or 10 minutes, okay? And see if we can go from there, all right? Okay, thanks, Scott. Bye.
He sounds super motivated.
He was so dry.
Yeah, I have like a song like that, Felipe, that like this dude just like straight up every time I get on the phone with him, it's just like it's almost like I'm pulling teeth. But like I always think he wants to kick me off the phone, but he always stays on the phone with me. And he's like finally getting ready to sell me his wife's property.
Yeah, bro. So for this one, the reason I got off the phone so quick, usually I'll try to stay on a little bit longer. I don't like pitching terms usually the first call, unless
Never.
it's been a longer call. But I noticed on the notes that the person he spoke to was he had the asking price at like 100,000 less than what he's asking now. So he's just didn't seem like he has a lot of motivation, and I probably will just call back just to pitch terms. So what I usually try doing is just if I know it's kind of like that there isn't really much momentum going on here, I'll just call back and say, hey, you know, we buy properties in a couple ways, kind of how Pace does it, and just be like, hey, we can fix and flip it, obviously, and then just go into terms and test my luck there. But yeah, there's definitely not a lot of motivation on that one.
Nice, bro. Yeah, no, man, like, yeah, and you got the right approach. Like, never. I mean, there's not a ton of motivation. I mean, like, you didn't catch the call I had earlier, but like the guy was like totally not motivated. But just like asking the right questions, like, gets them to pull it out sometimes.
Yeah.
Cool. So here's what we got from a standpoint. Cool. Put this together, get rid of the taxes. So we're looking at about $69,000 in renovation, almost $70,000 in reno. Ooh, and then updating the electrical. Electrical. Create. All right, so here's what I'm looking at. So we got roofing, siding, gutters, garage door, landscaping, paint, kitchen, bathroom, flooring, junk removal, water heater, furnace, and electrical. Is there anything I'm missing? I don't think so. We got the water heater, got the furnace. Anything else I'm missing? Andreas, anything you think I would be missing from a rehab that I'm not putting on this? Check this out. Right, the house is super dated. Needs to do everything. The windows look fine. The roof is going to need to be replaced. The windows look fine for now. And then let me just add miscellaneous. Miscellaneous. I'm over 30,000. I typically like to put like 5,000, but I'm not going to beat these people up. All right, cool. That looks about right. That looks appropriate to go fix up a house, right? About a property that's almost 2,000 square feet.
Yeah, probably. That seems about right. Yeah.
Yep. Jersey.
Wait, have you looked at the property, or do you have any pictures of it?
Yeah, I saw it. I got photos of it. You know, so like the bathrooms need updating, the kitchen was actually updated. That's why I only have the kitchen at 10,000 versus like closer to 20. And these are all like retail prices. Like, you know, we'll be able to probably get better pricing.
Yeah. So what do you need to, I guess, get this this one moving forward? Like, is what's up with the seller?
So super cool. I just had her on Zoom. So it's just a matter of whatchamacallit. Let me actually preview. It's a matter of just I gotta show her and her mom the numbers. So the reason she's trusting me is because when I gave her my cash offer, I actually broke down the numbers on like, hey, this is why, like this is where my numbers at, and this is why. I walked her through everything. Like I'm looking at a new roof. All right, new roof's gonna cost me about 13,000. That sound about right? Yeah. All right, cool. I'm looking at new siding. Right, the siding on this thing has to be done over. It's gonna cost me about this. Does that sound about right? Yeah. Cool. I'm looking at new gutters. That's gonna cost me about this. Does that sound about right? Yeah. Cool. I'm looking at this. Yeah. Cool. This. Yeah. Cool. This. Yeah. 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 So that's essentially, you know, kind of the approach I come at.
No, that's good, man, because you know what the thing is? Even though sellers who aren't, they're not really versed into real estate and they don't understand it that much. A lot of people understand that, hey, it's a business and we got a profit, but sometimes they don't realize how much things could cost. And they might think, like, if you're offering like 200,000 on a house that's worth 300,000 or whatever, they might not. They might think you're literally netting like 80, 70K. Until you actually break it down for them, and then they can see like, oh, okay, like a lot of stuff comes into it. Obviously, like closing costs and all that stuff.
Yep. I'm sharing with her too, like what my profit would be. I told her, like, look, I'm looking to make a profit on this. You know, right now, like it's the way it's set. It's like it's set to make like a $42,000 profit.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I think that's pretty dang fair. 22.
Yeah. So would you wholesale this one, or would you keep it for yourself?
Wholesale. Also, everyone like on YouTube is just like looking at my email right now. I feel so violated, bro. Let me see. Hi, Alexis and Dolly. Alexis and Dolly. Attached. Hey, you know what? Let me just text her too as well. Hey Alexis, I'm still working on putting together the invoice. All right. Cool. I have attached the repair estimates. Cool. Below. Let's break it down. I was having. Good. What's that? Oh, fixed up. Property. It'd be worth.
I'm gonna call this guy back. Hey, do you need me to mute on calls? Because I don't want it to overlap with like your audio.
No, bro, you're fine. Once I like jump back on the phone or something, I'll go ahead and just.
Oh, you from your end? Okay.
So.
Hey, Hey, Scott, this is Andres. We just spoke. Yeah, Scott, so I was looking over at some of the other properties, and I think that the price that you have it, that you want to sell for, it seems like that's probably a little bit closer to retail. Just out of curiosity, have you tried listing this on the market already? Okay, so I mean, I'm going to be very honest with you, and for us, we are investors, and typically, like if we are paying cash, we do need properties to be a little bit cheaper because our goal is to fix and flip it. So we want to get it at a little bit of a discount so we can renovate it, obviously pay our team, pay closing costs, all that stuff, right? So because of the fact that your property is the price is just close to retail, it wouldn't really make sense for us, right? So I feel like if you did want to sell it cash, it probably would be best to sell it to a retail buyer on the market. Now, what we can do still is what we do when properties are priced at retail or maybe a little bit higher is we typically will come in and we'll buy it on terms. Are you familiar with how that works? Okay, so is that something that you would entertain where we can give you a little bit of cash in your pocket, good monthly payments? Is that something that you would entertain? Okay, what's the reason you wouldn't do it? Okay, well, for us, a lot of the times, if a tenant is in the shoes, we don't mind keeping that lease in place and keeping them there because for us, our goal is to rent it, right? So if that tenant is already paying, we don't mind just leaving it there. What do you mean? Okay, so gotcha, Scott. So it kind of sounds like you're not necessarily looking to sell, but if somebody came in with a really good offer, you could probably consider it. Got it. Okay, Scott. Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, I think that your best bet is definitely cash quality the market. But if anything, we'll reach out back to you. Okay, in case we're interested. Okay, thanks, Scott.
There we go, bro.
Yeah, for someone like this, I typically think the only play is really to just almost like hope the market crashes a little bit. So that's really the only leverage that I have. Starts crashing a little bit, then
There we go.
And then we can solidify them on a high purchase price, on a potentially depreciating market. That's the only play I have.
That's funny, man. Closing costs. Closing costs is approximate. Hoping the market crashes. I feel you. Yeah, I mean it's just a matter of moving on and finding the right person.
Yeah, there's just not motivation there.
Typically it's gonna be about 3%. Look at our closing costs. Approximately. Closing costs. And this is like, I never write emails. And hopefully people see why. I'm a slow typer. And then our holding cost. Project. This will be probably five months to do. On this holding cost, taxes, insurance, utilities. $8,000. I'm missing something else. We got the realtor commissions. Oh, and then profit. Earn between 15 to 20% as a profit. That's what I knew I was missing something. Projects. 1,000 all together. Cash offer is a total of. Let's do these calculations together, y'all. If you're hanging out with me on YouTube still, shout out to you because you are patient. Because you just watched me type an email. Like, you are a true OG. You know, next deal I'm buying. Let me see who's on here still. We got 2 people hanging out. I don't know who those 2 people are, but those 2 people are amazing. You guys comment, and when you're in town, we'll go get you some sushi. All right, cool. So 280,000 minus 74,300 minus 84,000 minus 16,800 minus 8,000 minus 42,000, 130,500. 130,500. So another offer. Another option 1. Option 2. We partner on the flip. I really don't want option 2. Partner on the flip. That would be 140,000. As is cash. Paid when the flip is sold. Option 3. We take all. There is no option 3 really. Like, it's novation. Oh, we do a loan mod subject too. Subject. Modification. And we take over the payments. All right, I need to go eat a burrito after this email. My brain's being worked. A loan modification. We take over the payments. I like it. Price to be determined.
Oh, the seller was open to terms potentially?
Yeah, they're open to the sellers are open to everything, Andreas. They're always open to everything. As long as no, seriously, like they really are always. I just realized my camera's not on, bro. You've just been talking to my box this whole time. I don't even know how to turn my camera on. What's up, bro? Yeah, they're always open to terms, man. Prices to be determined based on modification terms. All right, cool. That's option 3. Option 1. Man, your boy is hungry. All right, cool. So, hi, Alexis and Dolly. I have attached the repair estimates below. My belief is that all fixed up the property can potentially be worth around 270, 280,000. My repair estimates are 74,300. We'll pay the closing cost. Well, we will pay. We will have. We will pay closing costs, or we pay closing cost. Closing cost. Pay realtor commissions, holding costs during the project. On projects like this, we look to earn a profit. A profit between 15 and 20%. So, and I could I'll explain this to her over the phone. All right, cool. To be decided. All right, that looks pretty basic, pretty simple. And let me actually include the invoice. Send. Right, and let's hopefully this is the right email. We spelled her name right. Did I receive your email? All right, cool. Looks like that was good. Let me see if this guy sent over image, JPEG. You're sending me JPEGs, man. PDF, cool. Perfect. Yeah, got it. Cool. All right, awesome. Let me stop sharing my screen here. Let me stop sharing my screen on StreamYard. All right, so StreamYard, folks, let me remove my screen share there. Guys, I need to go eat. So what I'm gonna do is okay, perfect. Do you want to jump back on the call in about 30 minutes? 30 minutes. Time for the next time. Meeting. Okay. All right, guys. Also, by the way, if you're hanging out here right now, just so you know, in about 1 hour time, Elena and I are going to be doing a how do I call it? I don't even know what to call this. It's going to be the best way I can say this is it's going to be not a trailer. Andreas, what do you call a pilot? It's going to be a pilot. We're going to pilot the podcast we're starting. So this is going to be like episode 00. All right, so that's going to happen in about an hour. My sister gave me permission to eat lunch. Yes, I'm going to eat lunch. Guys, you're hanging out here. Andreas, you going to continue to make calls, man?
I am. I'm going to continue to calls.
If I share my screen and I leave it on here, do you feel the pressure of being on YouTube and letting people watch you make calls?
Bro, when I first talked to Daryl, I was like, bro, put this much pressure on me. I literally want to be on the phone calls, on YouTube, on the lives. It's all good with me, bro.
Let's go.
It's so sick.
So check it out. I'm about to share my screen. Everyone's going to be hanging out watching you, bro. If I can figure out how to do this.
I'm like sending like this long message right now.
No worries, bro. So just keep in mind, you are now officially the star of the show, bro. Guys, if you're hanging out here, I'm going to make a banner so people know where I'm at. Taking a quick break. Virtual office making. Andreas will be making calls. Andreas will be making calls. Add banner. Perfect. I might also need to put to show the banner.
Let's see where I'm at right
Ooh. Banner. All right, cool. I'm gonna bounce and go grab a burrito real quick. And wow, I got a lot of water to catch up on.
All right, guys, let's see how this one goes. And so unfortunately, I have really bad service at my house. So I have to like call from my phone and put speaker after they connect. It would be a lot easier if I could just put the audio from the computer. But it's off the limit. Let me see. Hi there. Can I speak to Louis?
Can I take a message for him?
Sure. My name is Andres. And the reason I was calling is because Louis has spoken to my team about his house on Grant Way. Do you know if he's still selling that property?
He's at work right now, so I'm not sure.
Okay. Okay. When does he get out of work?
Yeah, it'll be later on this evening, 7:30ish.
Okay. Do you think it's fine if I give him a call around that time?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Sounds good. I'll probably give a call later then.
Okay, sounds
All
good.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So I'm calling. Honestly, these leads aren't that hot. I'm calling some of the like colder ones that I've loosened up a little bit. But yeah, I'll give him a call later. All right, on to the next one. Hi there, am I speaking to Caro
Who is this?
or Salvador? Oh,
Yes, who is this?
yeah, my name is Andres. I'm actually reaching out because just a few months ago you spoke to my team about your house on Germantown, the one on 8 Highway. Any chance you're still selling that?
How much you want to pay me?
Well, I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. I do have a little bit of details, Salvador, so I don't entirely want to waste your time, but I'm a little bit more interested in seeing like if this is something that you're looking to sell relatively soon, or if this is something that might need a bit of repairs. Do you mind kind of talking to me a little bit about the house?
Just call me back when you got a price and got calculation.
Well, Salvador, how can I? That's tough. Sorry, so tough. Yeah, guys. So, like, if you guys were listening, for these types of sellers, they typically just don't have any motivation. They get a lot of calls. They really, really just don't want to entertain it, right? Like, if you're getting 5 to 10 calls a week and you're not looking to sell, you just get bored of having the same conversation. So, for leads like this, I typically would just put them on a few weeks follow up. As like things can change, right? Like the market can drop significantly. Like next 2-3 weeks could have like a 25% decrease, right? Like you never know. Then at this point, like this could change somebody who's not motivated at all to say, wow, I might be able to just cash in, right? So a lot of times it really just comes down to timing. So if you guys heard that one, he was just not trying to entertain the conversation. And my VA that had called them, they do have a price here, but it seems to be above ARV. So it's just one of those. It's a little tough.
This is Craig. Can I help you?
Hey, Craig, this is Andres. How are you?
I'm good, sir. How can I help you?
Great. So Craig, the reason I'm calling is because just a few months ago, you had spoken to my team about your house on Englewood Court, the one in Raleigh. They mentioned you were looking to sell. Is that one still available by any chance?
Well, we had it for sale only because somebody wants it. This is where we live, and I've got a guy that says he's going to buy it from Apple. So we'll see if it really happens. But the price tag on it is $4.9 million. And it's sitting on the TPC golf course, in Wakefield, and it's just a unique place, and there's nothing for sale over there. So if that's the price we're asking, if you guys want to buy it, are you looking to move this way, or are you just looking for investment?
Yeah, no, we're looking at it for an investment property. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the pictures now, and it looks very, very nice for sure.
Oh, it's a beautiful place. We just redid the whole back, and I got to redo the pool. That's the next project, and then a little bit more on one of the decks. And this is where we live. I have 3 kids and a wife, and these people have been calling up to buy it just because it's in a good spot. It's very unique in a very high-end neighborhood. We don't really have it for sale, but everything, like the guys told me, Craig, everything Yes, sir, for the price. And I'm sitting on a piece of land right here. I got Carvana calling, talking to us, and a boat company and everybody else.
Wow.
This is a huge investment property. We've got 20 some acres. We got it for sale because these people keep calling us, so we got a price on it, $17 million.
Really?
And I think one of these guys is going to buy it. Yeah, because they're going to put a whole new interchange right next to our property coming up US 1 at Highway 96. If you guys invest in that kind of property, because they're talking about putting a hospital just north of us. Duke Hospital owns 50 acres, about 150 yards from my property. And I don't know them to buy real estate just to sit on it.
Yeah.
I'm fortunate. I have a lot of stuff in the right place at the right time.
Yeah. Well,
Raleigh's hot, man. I mean, I got land over on Falls Lake. I got a developer looking at it. They're going to build $4-5 million houses looking right at the lake. Because I'm the only guy in all of Falls Lake that has. I've got about 650 feet for sale facing the lake. But you have to understand, there's a core line between me and the lake. The government owns the land between me and the lake, but I'm so close. And they did a selective cut on the government property. I've just got beautiful views of the lake. So these developers, now we're just waiting for all the perks. I got the perk done, and now we got to figure out how many lots we can get on the property, and then they're willing to buy it and start building. But it's all talk until something happens.
yeah, that's what I was going to ask you, Craig. I was wondering if like they already had some type of agreement in place, or is that all just pending at the moment?
This is all conversation. And it's with a gentleman that they're big builders, and they were actually referred to me by a guy that I trust with my life. He's a builder. He builds $4, $5, $6, $8 million homes, and he said, "This guy's the developer, and I build his stuff. If you get this done, I'll be building houses on that land too." And then he got me in touch with this guy. This guy is really, really sharp, really kind guy, very, very fortunate, and it's nice to see people do well. I don't care who you are or what type of business you have. If you're doing well, I'm happy for you.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, just like I'm sitting in my warehouse right now. I have an old truck terminal. It used to be a standard truck terminal, and I use it for my business because I'm in the industrial fitting business. I've got 50 truckers renting spots in the back. I've got a guy renting my whole yard. I own the property next door with Michael Allen, and these people are calling us wanting to buy it all because it's in an extremely busy corridor, and Raleigh's growing very quickly up US 1. It's hit Wake Forest, and now it's going towards. It's come to Youngsville, where I'm sitting, and it's going north of here. And land is just nuts. I mean, the land right next to me is for sale for $1 million an acre.
Wow.
Like, they're good for them. They don't have to though. I always say talk cheap. They're asking it, but we have more people talking to us about our land because we're lower than that price than they have talking to them, and we have more land. So, if you have an interest, you guys, it's like a guy called me yesterday and said he's going to make an offer on my house. And I said, sir, go ahead and do that. And then he plays that game. Well, we have cash. And you know what? I'm not financing my house, but whoever buys it's going to be paying me cash.
Well, let me ask you, Craig. Why wouldn't you be open to financing? What about that don't you like?
No, I'm not going to finance anything. I'm going to sell. I don't want any debt. I don't want to have to deal with people that you end up fighting with them at the end of the day. It's easier just to sell and move on. And I own my stuff, so it's easier for me to do it that way.
No, I understand. Yeah. So for us, I mean, like, and I understand where that would come from, where it could be sometimes a hassle depending on the person. But I mean, when you finance it, you could typically just make a significantly more amount of money in the long run, especially if you have add a little bit of interest.
More money than that investing in my business, so that's where I go.
Gotcha.
And I invest in myself before I go to the stock market. I made a lot of money in the stock market when I was a teenager, and that enabled me to get to where I'm at today. So.
Yeah. So what do you do for business? Well, really quick, what do you do for business? Just out of curiosity, because man, this house looks like a castle. Like this is a very big house.
Industrial fitting business. I own a company called Northwest Hydroline. It was on the West Coast. I moved it to the East Coast because the West Coast is just out of control with dope. And then I got a warehouse in Atlanta, industrial properties down. Got this property up here. I've been in the fitting business for 4 years. So.
Interesting.
We've been through the ups and downs of the economy. So Obama almost put us all out of business when he killed oil and gas. And then Dementia Joe has just turned around and done the same thing when he cut off gas and oil. That's about 65% of my business. But I have so many other things that helps carry me on, which I'm very fortunate.
Yeah.
But this is what I choose to do, and I love it. My wife always goes, "Why don't you just retire?" And I go, "I can't sit at home."
Yeah, I know the feeling.
I love that. I love talking to people. It's like you. I don't know you, and you seem like a nice guy. You're not pushy and all that crap like these other guys do call me. And I go, "Guys, look, if you want to buy my house, make me an offer."
Yeah.
This guy that called me 2 days ago, I actually know him. He's from Raleigh. He's a big realtor. And he said, "Hey, I got these guys want to buy all your land." And I said, "Well, land's on loop then." And he says, "Well, they don't want to pay that price." And I said, "We'll make an offer." He said, "Well, what will you sell it for?" And I said, "Well, we're going to sell it for that price." And he said, "Because you're a hard negotiator." And I said, "No, I'm not hard to deal with at all. If you want to make an offer, we will consider it. But I'm not going to lower a price that we put on there because we're not for sale." And this thing that started out with the guys from Apple started in September of last year when they announced that Apple was coming to the Research Triangle Park here. I mean, it just lit everything up.
Yeah.
And then here comes Yahoo. And then here comes Nike. And now Meta.
Yeah. I didn't know that was a tech area right there near Raleigh.
They're just coming hot and heavy, man. And, the only thing I hope they don't bring their attitude with them, but at the same time, we're driving the prices up here like crazy. And they said for the first time in the last month, things kind of cleaned out a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Most houses in the last 2 years have doubled in price. And to build my house, and I don't agree with this personally, but the gentleman I'm dealing with builds these real high-end homes, and he says he's getting $450 a square foot. And I said, well, that sounds a little high for me. And I'm pretty realistic about stuff, but if my house is older, and I said, so if he built my house, my total house is 17,000 square feet. I got about 11,000 finished. And I said, you're putting my house at $5.5 million. And he said, yeah. And I'm on a TPC golf course.
Oh man, that's a dream.
To me. Yeah, I asked that dude from Apple, I said, sir, why do you want to live here when you can live 4 miles away from your new plant in Preston Woods? And he said, sir, I play golf 3 or 4 times a week with customers. And he said, none of my customers have ever heard of Preston Woods, but everybody's heard of the TPC. And I went, okay, so you're a serious golfer. I understand. That's a business thing.
Yeah.
And you love this, man. I looked this guy up. He makes $2.2 million a year. And he sold his home in Palo Alto in less than 2 weeks. He's 4 miles from Apple. He had 5 acres of land with a 5,000 square foot ranch style house. Really pretty. Sold for $29 billion.
Wow.
I'm talking to this realtor, and I said, explain to me where this guy, number one, how do you afford the friggin' taxes in California? And she said, well, Craig, he was the 6th guy that Steve Jobs hired. And I went, there you go. That answers it all. Stop. This guy's a billionaire.
Yeah.
I said, good for him. Just tell my price is going up. And we were laughing because I wouldn't do that just because you have a bunch of money. But a lot of people, I get at least 5 calls a week on my house. And I think it's because when this guy did this, I put it on Zillow for a while. And I just left it there. And I was getting calls every day from realtors. I don't use realtors because I don't have to. And I choose not to. I use Click-It on some property where I'm in control of it. I post some pictures and puts down MLS. That's where all my lake land is at right now. And but if you guys have an interest, let me know. And if you want to make an offer, my attorney's name is Pat Horn, and she would handle my side of the stuff for me, so we make sure everything transaction correctly.
Right.
And I don't mind talking to you and all that. And I don't let anybody walk through my house unless they're qualified because it's a kid's playground. There's toys everywhere, man.
Yeah. No, if I'm being very honest with you, I think if you really have an offer at that 4.5 or that 17 million you were mentioning, I would take that if I were you.
And I will take it. And my wife and I've talked about it, whether we love the house or not. We can build, I've got plenty of land. We can build anywhere. We can move to the mountains. We can stay here. My job, I can be anywhere. But she owns a company too. And, so we want to stay in the Raleigh area. And I think during the next year or two, we're going to start seeing a real slowdown or a collapse under these interest rates and everything. But these people coming in here, most of them do have cash. They're not coming in here playing games, man. There's big money coming to Raleigh. And I've watched houses near us get jacked up a couple $100,000. And I'm happy for the folks that are selling, but I always tell them you got to keep in mind it's all in proportion. If you want to stay in this market. So
Yeah, I agree with you.
And just let me know in that there's limited inventory in our area.
Yeah. Well, Craig, if I'm being very honest with you, yeah, like I was saying before, like I would probably just take that cash offer it comes, because for us, and just looking at it from an investment property that we're not going to live in, if it was cash, we would have to come in cheaper than what it could probably retail for. And so the only realistic way that we could buy is open. Yeah, no, I completely understand. I hope that ends up working out for you. I would be very happy with that, as I'm selling for something.
People want to build these houses at the lake because he showed them the pictures. I tell you what, just do this for shits and giggles. Go to Zero Witch Road, WHITT Road, Creedmoor, North Carolina, and you can go on Zillow, or you can just put that in. But on Zillow, it pulls up the MLS listing, and just look at the pictures of the land, looking at the lake and stuff. And it's actually beautiful. I bought that land 40 years ago.
Yeah.
And I told myself when I bought it, this is where I will retire. And I had no plans to sell it until people started calling me, because it's developing all around up there.
Okay, so let me ask you, Craig. Sorry to interrupt you, but in terms of like land, it seems like you do have some other land available. But how much do you sell those lots for? Because
the ones we're talking about on the lake are 5 to 2 acres.
Wait, say that again. How much was it?
$550,000 for 2 acres.
Okay, and that's nearby this property, the one that you're living in.
This is the Falls Lake land. The address I just gave.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
That's different land. It's 11 miles from my house, so it's not that far away.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, Craig, man, I hope everything works out for you. I don't think that we're gonna end up being your buyer. It's a little bit too out of our range, but it was nice talking to you anyway.
You need to buy it in $1.5 billion or $2 billion, and then you get that on it. Like I said,
Yeah, that's correct.
I don't have any intention to sell it. I don't want to pay as a premium, but I appreciate you asking.
Yeah, definitely, man. Hope everything works out for you. Okay.
All right. Well, good luck.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Love it. Jumped in for the end of that call. Yo, I'm about to jump off because I'm about to get back on Zoom with my seller. Appreciate you, though, Andreas, for holding it down with the calls right now.
Yeah, for sure, bro. We'll see you around. I always see you here on the Zooms every day. So.
Yes, sir. All right, bro. I'll catch you a little later.
Get that one closed, man.
Will do.
Later. All
right, y'all. So appreciate you all for hanging out with Andreas for a second. So now I'm going to get back on the phone with Alexis, and I'm going to have a conversation with her and her mother, Dolly, about what needs to be done here. So let me share my screen with you guys. How cool is it that like I can literally share my freaking computer screen on a virtual call with somebody across the world? Like, what the frick, guys? We're living in the future. I could text it to her from my cell phone. Okay. Out of coffee. Oh, okay. Jeff Smith. Nice. I don't think your audio is connected yet.
Hello?
Oh, there, now your audio is connected.
Okay.
I do that so many times now when I jump into Zoom calls.
Yeah. So, me and my mom had, well, the first question was,
Mhm.
my mom. I guess the first question would be,
No.
am I correct in saying that because there's still an outstanding balance on the mortgage, that if she takes, for instance, the first two options, whatever she gets out of that, she still has to pay that mortgage. That pays the mortgage.
Right.
Outstanding what she owes.
Right. So she still would be responsible for whatever the mortgage balance is. If there's a mortgage balance or any other like liens or anything of that, any sort of encumbrances, that is still responsible for the seller side.
Okay. The third option would have said something about a loan modification, the amount to be determined. What exactly is that?
Yeah, so typically what we do, so when I purchase properties, another strategy that I'm able to purchase properties is actually when there's debt in place, like a mortgage, I can actually take over the payments of that. Now, this one I know that there's some payments behind on it. So essentially, when I come across a property that has any sort of arrears or late payments, what I do is I see if we can get a loan modification on the current mortgage. So essentially, what they do is the bank will take whatever's owed, and if we're able to work it out with them, they'll actually put it onto the back end of the loan and allow us to make monthly payments going forward. And then from there, we just take over the payments. So essentially, we'll take on the responsibility of whatever that mortgage is. Then, as far as your equity, right now, there's equity that you have in the property. We determine whatever the equity looks like from a new purchase price. Because, in all honesty, you're providing us a benefit. If I can take over payments, that's less capital out of my pocket that I need initially to get into the deal. So I'm able to pass that savings on to you by now saying, okay, we can give you this much more money. But that really comes back. The reason I put it's to be decided is because I couldn't give you a number that I could know that I could stand by without knowing what would happen from the modification standpoint. So that one, the banks kind of, we're stepping into their ballpark and seeing what they're willing to do first. And then based off what they're willing to do, I can work backwards. But I need something to be kind of concrete. And they're the ones that have to be the most concrete first, because if they come back and their numbers are just outrageous, then everything else I've done would have been useless.
Absolutely, because you're saying for the first two options of making the repairs to get it to where it's a sellable product, you're saying like $75,000, upwards of $75,000. So you're saying, okay, that's $75,000. There's $100,000 that's outstanding and owing at the time. Mm-hmm. You would have to do 175. Correct me if I'm wrong. You would say, okay, we're really looking at $175,000 that you're going to take on a risk.
Right. Because
$175,000. Ask for a loan for the $175 to take care to modify it. Take that $100,000. It's going to be on the back end of the loan, 25, 30 year, whatever. Right? Mm-hmm. Am I correct in saying that?
Right.
Depending on the interest rate that they're going to give you and what kind of deal they're going to give you, you're going to say, okay, I have this $75,000. I'm going to invest in this property, but I have to get that $75,000 back.
Right.
Am I correct?
Correct.
So then, really, in essence, the loan would be technically for like $175,000 with interest on top of it, and you're going to say, okay, based on that $175,000, if it's where you see it's profitable for you, that whatever's in the escrow that's been paid already. Am I correct in saying what was already paid or grandma paid over the years, mm-hmm. and what you can make or whatever? You come up with a dollar amount and say, listen, this is what we can give you, because now we're owners of the house, we're making our money, making our profit, and everything's a little amicable for you and for her. That here's the amount we can offer you. Mm-hmm. Am I correct?
Right. So that's the basic gist of it. Like in that option 3, that's the one that really can get potentially like the most creative. Because from there, when I'm looking at it at that standpoint, I'm still going to have a good amount of capital coming out just to renovate the home right away. However, if I look at it from the standpoint too of, hey, can I rent this as a long-term rental? It just puts me in an option where there's a few more options there. And let's say I know the goal here, I believe Alexis said, is to go and buy something else right after. So actually to take the proceeds and to go buy something. So she'd prefer to be cashed out. However, I have some other people that I've worked with in the past where there's a gentleman right now that I bought a house from where his equity, he's actually taking payments on his equity over time. as well.
Right.
So what I did was I actually ended up paying him, really way too much. Like everyone looked at like, how much are you paying for that? I'm overpaying, but the reason I'm overpaying is because I'm not making all the payments at once. I'm making the payments incrementally over time. So what happens is my monthly affordability is there. I can cash flow. And so that's why it still makes sense for me as a deal. It still works really well. And for him, he ends up getting so much more. But that's only because he's not in a position where he needs all the money right away. I think he's in New Zealand right now. He's just traveling around the world, retired.
Oh, so then I have one more question. Let's hold on. So in that third option, how much time would you need to put together a possible deal, or just inquire?
Yeah.
How does that work?
So that one, like I said, it's going to depend on the loan modification. Right now, I'm not sure who who Grandma was banking with.
It's Midland Mortgage, I think it is.
Midland Mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't think we've worked with them. We did a lot with New Res. We've done Wells Fargo, Bank of America. Every bank, their loss mitigation process is a little bit different. Some of them are very on the ball. Some of them, as you can imagine, they don't look at it as new profit. It's kind of saving old profit. So it's not a priority. So really that's the wild card for us when we start the loan modification process. So I'm never quite sure. I can't ever give a definitive answer of how long it will take. I think the shortest we've ever gotten through with a loan modification has been about 3 or 4 weeks. On the longer end, we have a property that we just closed on yesterday. This one was I think this is in Washington, this property. And that loan modification we've been working on for 7 months. So it varies.
Now, again, the question would be, I'm going to answer this because I'm still part of this modification thing. I'm going to have to get this clear.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't even say, okay, Alexis, you'll come out with $130,000 at the end of this. You can't even say that because you don't know what the loan modification is going to consist of.
Right. So that's where it's like, I don't know. I mean, so in a weird way, I could say that, right? Because essentially, again, this last option is very flexible. Because what could happen is I can say, hey, you can get $130,000, but if the loan modification comes and the payments are, this big, then my payments to Alexis would, have to get smaller because it still has to fit inside of the bubble of being able to cash flow. Yes. Once it steps outside of being able to cash flow, that's when it totally falls apart and it doesn't make sense anymore.
Okay. Alexis, you have a question?
Yeah,
I'm going to turn around.
Mm-hmm.
My question is for option 2. Like, how long would you think it would take to sell that house?
So right now, we traditionally look at when we're doing a flip, we try to get in and out as fast as possible because you can imagine, time is of the essence for us. That's where we're taking on a lot of risk when we buy the house and we're trying to renovate it before the market changes. So typically, it takes us with a house of that size anywhere from 3 to 5 months. Typically the work, we can typically get it done in about the first 3 months or so. And then it's putting it on the market and giving it time to actually sell. Right. What we're seeing right now in the marketplace is it is starting to soften up with interest rates rising. You guys know we've been in a pretty hot market for the last year or so. But now after all that money's been put out there, I mean, we're seeing it everywhere. Gas prices are going up, grocery prices are going up, the mortgages are going up. So what's happening? The same homes that were selling last year for, $300,000, $320,000, they're still selling for the same price. But what's going on is the affordability because interest rates went up another 2-3%. The monthly payments that someone has to pay is going up a couple $100. So you're talking about buying the same house but having to pay $500, $600, $700 more, and that makes a big difference. That's a car payment right there. That's car payment. That's insurance. That's groceries. So that's what we're looking at right now. So that's my long answer. So sorry you didn't ask for all of that, but essentially.
Oh no, you're fine. I'm learning.
Yeah. So essentially, right now, when we're looking at flips, we're looking at this one. We're anticipating 5 months between renovation, putting it on the market, finding a buyer, and then the buyer actually coming in, closing on it, and essentially us being done with the deal.
All right, so Tuesday I'll have a definite answer for you.
Okay.
The way things looking, I might just have to go with option 1, but I have a definite. answer for you on Tuesday. Text you on Tuesday to let you know.
Okay.
I'm trying to get out of paying this. Oh no, I have a question about FEMA.
About what? The connection cut there for a second. About what?
About FEMA.
Okay.
The FEMA, like if there was a storm or anything, there was a storm around here, and some stuff didn't happen to the house. Like I had to put up bushes and stuff like that and move it to the side and everything. So that's what I was saying.
Okay. I'm not too certain with FEMA. I do know, I can tell you I believe it was early last year, there was, FEMA was offering different grants, things of that nature. And we did that for a few properties because we had some property in New York that we were able to get some money for from the storm that had passed. I think it was last year, that storm that had passed caused a little bit of damage on our roofs. But I'm not too certain. I really couldn't give you a direct answer. I don't know. I could look into it, but I'm not too certain.
Okay, thank you. So I'll just get back to you by Tuesday.
Okay.
It looks like it's being option 1. Oh, my mom has a question. I'm sorry.
I have one more question. I'm sorry.
No worries.
We're still trying to research the initial mortgage company that had the loan prior to they transferring it to Midland. When I called them, they said they didn't see anything where her grandmother had a death benefit of any type for the house.
Right.
They said that. So then when I called Midland, they actually said that it's a possibility. Sometimes it's out there, but it's not. If Alexis didn't find it, I guess they won't know you passed away until somebody tells them that.
Right.
And I guess Alexis has to check with the post office, with the postmaster to give them all the information that she's the executor and everything, in order to get all the old mail, the mail that was there over time.
Right.
Is there a way of checking that you know of if she had out there?
You know what? I'm not too certain to find if she had a death benefit in the sense of like an insurance policy.
Yes, an insurance policy of some additional insurance policy.
Yeah, that one would be tough because essentially that would have been her personal files. The only way to find that would be if you maybe had a hint of the company she was with, going through the old mail, getting over to the house. Yeah, that's definitely a tough one. This is why, just for future references, this was a conversation that I had with my family last year. I actually sat down with my mom, my sister, and my brother, and we started doing basically like estate planning together, just having that conversation. Now we put together a folder with hey, these are all the companies that everyone needs to be aware of. These are the accounts we have open, in the worst case scenario, because then the hard part is you're not sure what she may have had stowed away, and then it becomes really difficult. It's not like the insurance companies are running to pick up the phone to say, hey, we got money here for you. They really do wait, and they fight to give that stuff back.
Okay, thank you. So I guess that's what we'll have to just try to look and dig. And even in the meantime, if she takes whatever option, she still would, once she sells the house, how does that work? Once she sells the house, that 140 or 130 comes directly to her account. She's responsible for paying the mortgage company. So what happens
when you sell the property, we go through a title company. So all transactions always go through a title company. And what the title company does, they pull up any sort of liens, encumbrances, past taxes, any of that kind of stuff. And what they're going to find is that there's still a mortgage on the property because it was all recorded when the property was purchased. And they're going to order a payoff statement from the lender. So the lender is going to submit a payoff statement. So actually at close, before the property closes, they're going to make sure that gets cleaned and that gets wiped off. So from what would be profits, they would take it and spend whatever needs to be spent to close that out. And then the remainder now goes to you. And this is how they transfer clean titles.
Okay, I see. So whatever was owed gets paid off, and that balance goes to her. Okay.
Right.
She wouldn't have to worry about, I got to write a check to the mortgage company.
Correct.
Okay.
So they would take that. They would take care of all of that. They wouldn't be able to close until they got that information directly from the lender. And they would actually, after it gets closed, they will have the lender notarize a document saying that the loan was paid off. So that way it's now recorded with the property. So there's never any instance where the lender could come back and say, you know, we never got paid. It's like, well, it was recorded, you know, with the county. It was notarized. You know, you were paid back.
Okay, I see. Because even if there's a policy out there, she finds it later on, that's just going to be her money anyway.
Well, the nice thing is if it's an insurance policy, let's say it's like a term life or a whole life policy, that really shouldn't have anything to do with the property. You know, maybe that's just like the only thing maybe has to do with the property is that was her mailing address. And so maybe mail about that was coming to the home. You know, depending on what sort of policy it was, maybe she was still making monthly payments on it. So that could be a good way to track it down if you have access to any of her bank accounts and we're seeing if there's any automatic payments. That would be something I would think of to look through, you know, where she was making payments at any point, or maybe even going backwards through time to see if you saw like these reoccurring monthly payments going to one of those life insurance companies, and then calling them and basically backwards engineering it from the credit number or whatever she was using to pay for it. Because I don't imagine she was paying cash. Like most people aren't, you know, paying their life insurance cash.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the information. Anything else, Lex?
Oh
Okay, so
no.
Alexis, I'll just, like I said, the latest Tuesday or Wednesday, because what you just said, my grandmother had something that had a lot of accounts written on it, and then she went through Wells Fargo to pay her mortgage.
Okay.
So I can ask Wells Fargo, does she have any insurances or anything else?
Yeah, they might know something. The lenders already know that she's passed. They've been informed that she's passed.
I don't think all.
Because if they don't know she's passed away yet, what I would say is you have a power of attorney for her, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I wouldn't mention that she passed. And this is the reason why. With at least when it comes to mortgages, there's something called a due on death clause on most mortgages. So it basically says when someone passes away, the mortgage now suddenly becomes due. So it would just accelerate the entire process, and they would call the mortgage due right away.
Oh, so they do know that she. They do now. They know she sent the paperwork.
Oh, they do know now? Okay. So yeah, you know, and sometimes the mortgage company, if the payments are being paid, they, you know, will allow the next of kin. Typically, most of the time it's just a husband or a wife. They used to allow like people to assume mortgages. Like before 2008, I can actually go and say, you know what, let's take your name off the mortgage. Let's put my name on the mortgage. I'll be the person that is on the hook for it. But after 2008, when a lot of people were doing that very irresponsibly, you know, like they were just like having their friends qualify for mortgages, and then people who couldn't necessarily afford those mortgages were taking them over, and there was a lot of foreclosures happening. They got rid of that, but they do still on occasion allow very close family, like immediate family, to still do that in special situations. But typically when someone passes away, the due on death clause is triggered if the bank is alerted or if the lender is alerted that the person has passed away and they see a death certificate.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. I'll definitely get back to you by Wednesday with my option.
Okay.
Because when you just had a light bulb go on. So I'll definitely get back to you
Okay.
by Wednesday with everything.
Cool. And if you have any questions in the meanwhile, feel free to reach out to me or give Nikki a call. We're more than happy
I'm trying to get a home, and I wanted to do an FHA program, but I know when I was reading up on it, your credit got to be a certain bracket, and then you might have to put down a certain amount, and my credit's going up, but you know.
Do you know what's affecting your credit? Like, do you know what's causing it to be low right now?
Well, my credit is 622 now.
Okay, so it's moving. Yep, so it's moving up. Typically, FHAs, they look for credit. Honestly, they've been last year. They were allowing like lower scores, like above 600. They were actually approving. But traditionally, you want to be 650 and higher. That's kind of like you've hit that safe spot. You know, and there's a couple of things you can do to increase credit. That's one of the things that we teach, like basically like I talk to people in my community all the time, and I'm just telling them this stuff because we never were taught it growing up. Like I don't know about you, I wasn't taught any of this stuff in school.
Yeah,
So like
exactly.
for me, it's like I almost feel called to pass this sort of information on, to as
That's
many
good.
people as I
Yeah.
possibly can. So one of the things, typically our utilization is pulling our score down, and like let's say I go and I spend $1,000, I only have one credit card, and my limit on it's $2,000, right? I'm already at a 50% utilization, right? If I actually go and open up another credit card, my utilization actually goes down without me having to pay off anything or even spend another dollar. Simply by opening another credit card, my limit goes from being 2,000 to let's say I got another $2,000 card. So now I have $4,000 of available credit, but I'm only using 1,000. So I went from 50% utilization to 25% utilization simply by having another card.
Yeah, because I was going to get a Capital. I have Self credit card,
Mm-hmm.
and I was going to get a Capital One credit card. So you're saying just don't get that, just stick with the Self credit card?
Well, what happens is there's multiple cards that you can get, right? It's just a matter of understanding which ones are reporting to which credit bureaus. Basically the name of the game is you want to have access to more capital, right? You want to have access to more cards. Doesn't mean you go out and you're spending on all the cards, right? This is just for building credit. You would actually want to have more cards. Like somebody that has 12 credit cards versus somebody that has 2 credit cards. Most people think the person that has 2 credit cards would look like a safer borrower in the eyes of the bank. The person with the 12 cards is actually the person that the bank looks at and says, like, that's the person we want to work with.
Oh my, yeah, I was just gonna get me a little Capital One credit card. That's it.
It's kind of it's scary because it's counterintuitive, right? Like I was taught growing up that if you can't buy it with cash, don't buy it at all, right? And I still think that way, and that credit cards were dangerous, right?
Yeah, that's what I was taught.
Mm-hmm. No, it's it's the way we were raised, and credit cards, they're no more dangerous than like a power saw, right? A power saw has the ability, I can go and I can build a house with a power saw, or I can go use an old school saw. Both will build the house for me. Just one's going to do it a little bit faster. And one, I have to be a little bit more precautious. I have to be a little bit safer with the power saw, right? But if I learn how to use it properly, people operate that their entire lives and they have all 10 of their fingers. So it's a matter of, if you treat it like it's a debit card and you never spend more than you have, having more cards actually makes your credit profile better because you have larger lines of credit, less utilization. The more cards you have on your account actually gives you a better rating and a better score. And then also what happens is your credit history, right? So most people, like, let's say you only have one card, and let's say 12 years goes by and you open up a brand new card, right? You waited 12 years and you get a new one. Your credit history gets chopped in half because they take the average. So right now you would have had one card that was 12 and then another card comes brand new. Your credit history goes down to 6 years instead of being at 12. So it literally chops it down. So instead, it's better to start with all of the cards now, open them up. So later in the future, if you go and get one more, the averages of all of these will actually pull your score up higher. But again, these are things they don't teach, like, and talk about ever.
Exactly. All right. Well, thank you so much. And Marlon, I'll have an answer for you by Wednesday for sure.
Okay. Well, thanks so much, Alexis. And I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Dahlia. You guys have a wonderful weekend.
You do the same. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Take care. Bye-bye. All right, guys. So we just had a full-on 2022, man. Let's go. That was fun. All right, I gotta bounce, guys. I gotta go meet up with Elena. If you enjoyed that, though, leave a like in the comments. Like, subscribe, share this with people. I appreciate it immensely. Like, it helps a lot. Like, I will continue to do these. I will continue to give as much value as I can for free. Just sharing what I wish somebody shared with me when I was coming into this business. Actually, there is somebody that shared this sort of stuff with me, and he's the one that inspired me. Shout out to Pace Morby and shout out to Pip Stellick. Those two guys were my main mentors who taught me the value of giving to others. But I'm gonna bounce. Let me give my friend Elena a call and say what up. Actually, you guys want to hear something cool? Check this out. Check this out. Y'all about to hear something mad cool. Just lost. What's up? I was waiting for you to say it first.
I'm on the Q&A right now, and then I'm like eating a sandwich. I'm like, I gotta get it.
Wait, the Q&A is happening right now? I thought you said the Q&A was happening at like 4.
He changed it. He's on vacation.
That freaking dude, he jumped into my I was like on call with Brandon and Bilal in their group this morning, and out of nowhere, they had me come in to speak, and out of nowhere, Pace Moore just boom popped into the room, and we were like, what? And they just like started going ham, and then like 10 minutes or like 20 minutes later, he was like, oh crap, did I just Kanye West that whole thing? It was just so funny. Like none of us were expecting that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So then, do you wanna? How's the Q&A going? Is it going like super ham right now?
Brian Cow has a question on raps, which is really cool because I want to do more raps, but I mean it's all it's all recorded and shit. So like I don't like I'm really excited to start our podcast.
Hell freaking yeah! So
yeah,
what I'll do is I just finished up a call with a seller. She and I were on Zoom. It was super fire. Looks like we're gonna get a cool deal under contract. What I will do right now is I will shoot you over a link. I'm currently streaming live on YouTube right now, by the way, just so you know. We want to get this stream to your YouTube at the same time too, right?
I mean, I don't know if I'm ready for that right now.
I don't know if I'm ready for that kind of commitment right now.
Is it? Are you able to record as well? Or?
Yeah, no, it records.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
If I can just get the recording afterwards and like post it on my YouTube.
Faux show. All right, so we don't have a name for this. So I'm just gonna name it unnamed. Like we'll figure it out. It's just gonna be the pilot. This is like low key the pilot, where it's almost like we're brainstorming in real time. And then I'll also like be streaming on IG Live at the same time. We won't be able to stream together on IG Live, unfortunately, because the feedback.
No, I don't. I'm totally fine with that. Cool. I was like, I don't know how to do any of that. I was like,
okay, dope. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shoot you like a StreamYard link in probably like 5. I'm gonna give myself closer to 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think 10 minutes would be good too because I'm finishing up a sandwich. So.
Perfect.
Cool.
Awesome. Talk to you in a bit, Elena.
Sweet. Thank you so much.
All
See
right.
you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
All right, y'all. So guys, be here. I'm gonna go live again in a few minutes with like 10, closer to 15 minutes to be honest. And Elena and I are gonna be announcing the podcast that we're starting. So see you guys in a bit. Appreciate you. Peace.